What should society stop forcing on us? Having to constantly be busy and only have 2 days to recover from it. Ads. The ad bombardment is reaching a truly infuriating level, to the point where I purposefully do everything possible to ignore them. Narcissism, materialism, over-competitiveness. Political parties. What did the first US president say? Don't have parties. Well, no one is forcing anyone, but everyone assumes you want from have kids. And if you don't, everyone has a lot of questions and they start judging and trying to change your mind. Materialism. There should be laws about how heavily photoshopped pictures are meant to be to sell anything beauty-related. Being constantly surrounded by images of perfection is seriously damaging to people's mental health, and the implication that a product will make you look like this is simply false advertising when the model doesn't actually look like this and has been heavily airbrushed at the very least. The concept that you aren't valid or normal for not enjoying, liking sex or romance at all or as much as other people. The fact that everyone on the internet is either a pedophile, kidnapper, etc. Like Nana. This online person I'm talking to and have literally been in a call with is not trying to kill me. That we have to be available at all times because of our phones. I get it if you're late for something, or have plans with someone, but you always are pushed to be available. I miss the days of the landline and answering machines or that texts weren't instant. For example, I put Do Not Disturb on for sleep each night as I value my private time. I'll wake up to 20 texts, updates, at least 2 if not 3 phone calls and voicemails. It's insane. Also on that note, you don't get to leave your work at work. They own you at home because they can text you. I've had bosses harass me when I'm off or just got home because non-consequential BS is more important. The texts are, "Why aren't you answering? Why aren't you this or that? If you don't answer, you're fired. Mind, this isn't life or death stuff or accounts this as whether or not so and so drained the water cooler. Or who's bringing coffee next week or can you bring something for potluck? It's not, hey, let's hammer out these accounts. Or, our is flying in, please have these ready. Or, double checking everything is done, have a good night." The other pettiness is absolute BS. You want to hit back with, "Brittany, I'm at home because I'm off and all is done at work, please leave me alone." Or, "Kim, I'm asleep, it's 11:30 at night and I'm exhausted from running your store all day because you took a 5-hour smoke break." Then if you don't answer, it's WWII when you get there and you're public enemy number 1. Then what follows the harassment on a nightly basis is they push you to come in on your days off. Then it could be the only day off you've had in a month and you need serious mental decompression. They say things like, "You're not a good communicator at all," or, "You lied on your resume that you're reliable." It's no, honey, no. I didn't sign up to be your personal slave and you owning me because we have text messages. Politics. It's everywhere. I miss not knowing every motherfucker's political view. The Kardashians and others like them. The need to have the perfect body, face, makeup, etc. It's ridiculous, unattainable, and unnecessary. The idea that social media is the only way for people to know you. Interviews for jobs need to be replaced with something else. They give an upper hand to people with connections, extroverts and natural BSers, not people who can best do a job. Toxic corporate culture. CEO worship. LinkedIn is pure cancer. Political agendas. They're everywhere and most of them just seem to be pandering to the loud minority on Twitter. Socializing. I'm an introvert. There shouldn't be a stigma to that. Respect your elders. Just because you are old doesn't give you the right to talk shit constantly. The expectation for men to hold back their feelings for the sake of image. The idea of hobbies becoming side hustles. Why can't a hobby just be a hobby? Paying so much for healthcare. Healthcare should be a right, not a business. The idea that your salary is equivalent to your worth as a person. Lawns. They're ecological nightmares that waste millions of gallons of water every year. The idea a person can never criticize a social, political movement for its inherent flaws, even if it is good in nature. The idea that people should have their SH*T together and their life planned out at the age of 20. I'm 19 and still want to play my Pokemon games and the future scares me, happy crying face. The idea that college is the only way to be successful in life. Twitter that shit can fuck straight off. Single use anything. The notion that wealthy people are benevolent stewards of the economy and the world. Subscription-based services. Everybody out here wants your money now on a monthly schedule. Showing literally everyone pictures of their kids' wieners and rumps when they were a baby without the kids' consent. The idea that your life circumstances are entirely the result of how much effort you put in. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop show me something natural like an ass with some stretch marks. For every problem you have, you either need to call a lawyer or take a pill. Turn on any US TV channel. Half the commercials are call a lawyer or take this drug. I'm not saying that they're never needed. They are. But as a society, at least as an American, we are seemingly too quick to sue or take a pill versus face reality first and maybe work it out without it. Like I said, it's not always possible, but the way we're doing it is also way overkill. The American dream. It's just a slogan to get us to spend money. Microtransactions. It was annoying when it began with video games, but now it's starting to make its way into everything. Just earlier I was looking at the Google Play Store and they have the new points system. Basically you spend IRL money on in-app purchases and they give you a certain amount of points for it. Get 100 points and you get $1 to spend on the Play Store. I'm afraid to see where this business model will go. The scariest part is how effective I feel it will be. Gender reveal parties, baby bump photo shoots. That taking away our freedoms is the only way to stop people from abusing them. Making a person or character's sexuality and or race known and put front and center of everything. Products and marketing. Billionaires. You can't start a trucking company in the future because of self-driving trucks. Can't start a taxis company. Farming. Forget it. Swaths of land have been bought up. I could go on and on. One day we are going to wake up to the morning news reporting the devastation all of this has done to families and then cut away to a cooking segment. That men are never the victim. We'll probably get attacked by a lot of feminists, if anyone even notices this comment. That working more means that you're a better person. Shorten working hours. Fake beauty. Politics. It's getting to the point where people are losing friendships over topics they don't agree on. Empathy for the billionaire class. Beauty standards. Having kids. The 5-day, 40-hour work week. Denial of body autonomy and archaic blue laws. No religion should have any power to dictate their ideas on all others. Donating your vacation time to coworkers because the company you work for is shitty. There was a natural disaster and one of the stores in the chain I worked for got flooded. Instead of just giving people time off because they literally couldn't work, they asked everyone to give up the few paid days off we got a year. Most of us got less than a week off a year. Work. Not saying that work is inherently bad and no one should do it, but our mentality that everyone should always be either in school or having a job or retired no matter what is toxic. It allows companies to abuse their workers because they can't survive without a job. When we invent automation that makes less work necessary, we don't celebrate that we can work less. Instead, we do everything we can to invent more shit jobs and penalize people who can't find jobs because we can't imagine that working less could actually be a good thing. Junk mail. Having kids. Stop it. We don't need more mouths to feed. If you genuinely want a kid, go rescue one of the hundreds of thousands from the foster care system. Specifically the US. Restaurants that don't pay servers a livable wage, and therefore customers have to tip to ensure their servers get paid. Perfectionism. Also, debt. The idea that a spouse and kids leads to fulfillment. Pete Davidson. Cancel culture. Blue-colored clothing for men. We see other colors too. Working from an office 5 days a week. That those working minimum wage, dead-end jobs can't be happy or successful. To have kids. Taxes. Start taxing all of the richest people instead of us average people for social services. They're the ones that have been benefiting the most and dodging taxes for decades. Also, the lack of accountability for the rich and politicians, regardless of their political stance or wealth. Having kids. There are people out there who want them, and there are people who don't. Leave those who don't alone. It is their life choice. Additionally, the fact that men should not seek help and suck it up. I was discussing this with someone and told them look up outreach programs and services for men dealing with mental health issues. I assure everyone here that there is slim to none. Now do the same for women and children, and you will find quite a few. The sad truth is, society simply does not care about men having mental health issues unless they are 1. A veteran, 2. Child, teenager. Religion. Stop forcing it on people. If you want to follow a God, then good for you, but stop forcing your God's ideals on everyone else. Don't like abortion? Then don't have one. Don't like gay marriage? Then don't marry someone of the same sex. Gender roles and stereotypes. 40-hour work weeks. Stop forcing us to feel obligated to care about every problem in the world, even though we can't do anything to solve it. Having children. That a university degree is the only way to be successful. Thanks for watching. See you later.